Howdy folks, this is Justro here at Metcalf Mills. Today I'm going to be showing you a 12-inch Williams mill. The Williams Mills was built between about 1916 and 1926 or 7 and is bought out by the Meadows Mill Company. So this is a rare little mill. It's all complete, around 100 years old. It works great. Also, I'm going to be selling this mill, so if you're interested, let me know. I'm going to grind some cornmeal and grits and show you how it works. I hope you enjoy. Here it is, folks. This is the hopper where you put your grain in. It'll hold about a bushel. And the grain flows down here. This is a feed cup right here. And when you turn this knob, it raises the feed cup. You can see that raising up, and that controls the flow of corn going into the mill. So the higher that cup is, the more corn will be fed into the mill. It goes down through the shoe. Any big chunks will stay on top. Corn will fall down. It'll go down through here. There's a fan out here on the end of the shaft. And the way this works, you leave the door closed when you're not using the mill to keep varmints or anything out. When you're going to use it, you open the door so the fan can get a current of air coming in. Air goes around this little duct right here, and as the grain falls down, it blows a current of air over the grain, and any fine trash, pericarp, anything like that will be blowed out the side over here. Right here's the exit for that stuff. Come over here. This is the spout where your product comes out. I redid the screen on this side sifter. It has a fine screen here for cornmeal. Down here it has a more coarse screen for grits. Then any offals will come down here and come off the end. Now this mill's in good shape. The stones are really good. They're nice and thick. Be a lot of years of wear on this mill right here. Long time. The way it runs is it's a flat belt powered machine, which you can either use a flat belt on a PTO or a power unit, any kind of an old hit and miss engine, anything like that, and run this machine. Or you can set it up to run on an electric motor pretty easily. It's in real good shape. The wood's all solid. It's complete with all original parts. There's a couple small repairs that have been done. Right here, that bracket has been brazed back onto the eccentric. There is a notch right here out of the wood. Evidently, it was hitting the belt at some time or another, and that was their solution. So it has grease cups to lubricate the shaft. If you're not familiar with these, this cup comes off. You just fill it most of the way up, about 3/4 of the way with grease. Put it back on here. When you want to grease the bearings, you just give it about a 1/4 turn, and that forces grease down onto the bearings. It's got 3 of them. One over here. Real easy to do that when you're milling. You don't have to mess with a grease gun or anything. Over here, you put some heavy oil in this little cup right here, and that goes down to keep the eccentric lubricated. Up here, you have another spot right here that you'll put some heavy oil in, as well as right here, just maybe a drop every so many hours. Over here, you have another oiling point right here for the shaft that holds the sifter up because it's rocking back and forth. Nice little machine. Now right here on the end, you can still see some of the original stenciling. Williams Mill Manufacturing Company. And it should say, right under that, it should say Ronda. You can't see the Ronda, but you can see the NC right there. So Williams Mill Manufacturing Company, Ronda, North Carolina, barely visible. Right here you can see the 12-inch stenciled in there. There you go. Still got a lot of the original pin striping on it. Over here, around the fan housing, looks good. Down here, all up through here, it's got your fancy. The 12-inch mill was the rarest of the mills that were built. They built fewer of them than anybody else did. That's a fact with Meta's mills. I'm sure it's the same with Williams. But I'm going to fire this little mill up and show you how it makes cornmeal and grits. Now what I'm grinding here is just some commercial corn I bought. I buy that cheap stuff just to purge stones out with. I don't use my good heirloom grain to purge stones. And what that means is, after you dress the stones, you run maybe 25, 50 pounds of grain through there, and it will clean out and purge those stones. On the bigger stones, you may have to run as much as 100 pounds, but something like this, just run that grain through there, clean them rocks up real good before we start making a food product. Turn our flow knob here, tighten it down, got corn in the hopper. Because I enjoy it. Over here, got something coming out here. That's a mix of grits and cornmeal. You can tell because some of the grits are moving down over here to the grit stream. If you want to grind just straight cornmeal, you come up here to this block set here. And you unlock it with this rod, and you adjust right here how close your stones are. Right now I like what I'm seeing pretty good. That's a pretty good mix of grits and cornmeal. Underneath here, that's some nice cornmeal, real nice cornmeal. Come over here, that's where we're catching the grits. Nice grits. Down here at the end, their husk coming off. you can see over here on the back side, I told you that fan would blow the pericarp and the light trash out of the corn. Well, look at there what it's done in the floor here. Look at that. It's ideal to fix a little box right here. I don't know what whoever gets this thing situation is. I can put one on it if need be, but you need a little something right here to catch at. A lot of people just put a bucket here and put a little bit of a shield to keep it from going anywhere else. Let's see what we got here. In our offals box, we got all our husk and bran. And over here, get back, dog. Over here in our meal box, look at that. Look at that nice cornmeal. Look at that stuff. Nice. And over here, about right here over, is your grits. Look at here. Nice grits. Nice grits right here. Pretty cornmeal. Now what you want to do is you want to put a divider in your meal box right where the cornmeal screen and the grits screen separate. You want to put a divider under there, and that'll keep everything separate. I just use this for testing meals and whatnot. But there it is, folks. See how this little old mill works? It's a dandy. Folks, I hope you enjoyed this little cornmeal video. As I said, this mill is available for sale. Get in touch with me if you're seriously interested in getting one. Like this video if you will. Subscribe to my channel if you ain't already. This is Justro at Metcalf Mills. I look forward to seeing you next time.